Hey man, have you guys figured out your quarterback yet?
It's Russell Wilson, man. It's always been Russell Wilson.
Oh,
Forever will be Russell Wilson.
all right. I'm just
My
checking.
quarterback.
I'm just checking. I'm just checking.
Oh my god, we did it!
I don't want to hear it from a guy who's half his fan base is Swifties. Broncos country, let's cry.
Back to the Super Bowl.
Why'd they put the trash cans next to the Cowboys helmet?
You could take it and shove it up your face. What I really need to be hearing from you, though, is thank you.
Good afternoon, football fans, and welcome to the final preseason episode of the Trajan Temple Sportcast. I am your host, professional wrestler and Kansas City Chiefs fanatic Christian Temple, joined alongside, as always, by my good friend, the Russell Wilson QB appointed terrible towel twirling Trajan. And the decision has been made. Are you happy with this one? Is this suit your wants and needs?
I think so. I mean, it kind of was always what I thought the Steeler way would be on it. It's just, we don't do things that are flashy.
So does Russell Wilson set the standard, or he is the standard?
I I think he deserves a shot.
I would say so.
And he is the veteran. We got him for 1 year. Let's see what he does. I mean, he threw 26 touchdowns last year.
That is true.
Can he pick it through 13? I mean, no, I think our entire offense threw 13.
I was going to say,
So,
the
I
Steelers
mean-
offense, maybe?
Between those three quarterbacks. So, I mean, if he does half as good, he was just the same as last year.
There you go. That's all you needed, right? Alrighty. Well, we'll talk about the 53-man rosters for both teams that was just announced as of yesterday as we are recording here too. And we will go ahead and start with the back-to-back Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. And as you can see right here, we have narrowed it down to two quarterbacks, and it is not Ian Book that is going to be our backup this year. It's not Chad Henne. It's not Blaine Gabbert. This time, it's Carson Wentz, who did help lead a team to a Super Bowl 1 year. He didn't help his team win the Super Bowl, but he did help lead a team to a Super Bowl too.
You can't have it all.
Can't have it all. Running backs, kind of. First two, definitely no surprise. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, we brought him back on a 1 year deal. Isaiah Pacheco, obviously. It would have been cool to get Jerick McKinnon back, but with him retiring, completely understandable too. Might as well go out on top, baby. But probably the biggest story of training camp and preseason, and well-deserved in my opinion, Carson Steele. The guy who he's got Mike Allstott written all over him the way he's ran. And that 32-yard run in the final preseason game, that sold him for me. I'm super glad that anytime someone that's undrafted gets a chance to make the roster and they do so with their play in the preseason, that's pretty darn cool. That's a pretty cool story. So hats off to Carson Wentz on that. Very, very neat story indeed. But we go down to wide receiver here, and although we still have Hollywood Brown listed as on the main roster, obviously the injury not too terribly serious, which is good. Probably won't play week 1. Odds are may not play week 2. But he'll be alongside Mecole Hardman, Sky Moore, Rashee Rice, Justin Watson, and the rookie Xavier Worthy. And probably one of the funnier surprises, Juju Smith-Schuster coming home, baby, to the team that made him a superstar. Obviously,
Oh, a superstar.
obviously released by the New England Patriots. Juju, kind of familiar with the Matt Nagy offense, so he'll probably be a wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5 for us too. But it's a target that Mahomes relied on quite a bit in 2022. Will he have the production he had that year? Probably not, but hey, it's always cool to see a familiar face come back to the team.
I think he's probably one of your better wide receivers on the team.
Hey, he very well may be. We'll see. We haven't seen Worthy yet. We haven't seen Hollywood Brown yet, so
Maybe Rice is better, I don't think Hollywood Brown is better. You can hype him up all you want, but he is what he is.
You're gonna die on that hill, aren't you?
I will die on that hill because he was a former Ravens and he was not that good.
A former
He had
Ravens.
one
Yep.
good year. One good year.
Hey, plenty of time for 2 good years, right?
That's all you need.
Remember MVS? He only had 1 good year with the Packers, and look what he had more than 1 year. I'm kidding. I jest. It's just funny. It's nice to have a wide receiver with a hyphenated middle and last name again. All right, moving on to tight ends here too. Kind of surprised here because in the offseason we signed Irv Smith Jr. from the Cincinnati Bengals, and he was kind of battling injury coming into preseason too. So obviously Travis Kelce being tight end number 1, Noah Gray tight end number 2, special teams guy, Jared Wiley, our 4th round draft pick. Cool to see him make the team. And Peyton Hendershot was, I believe, the 3rd string tight end for the Dallas Cowboys, and that was a pick. That was a pickup by Veach a couple days ago, rounding out the top 4 in the tight end room. Moving on down to offensive line, we have Mike Caliendo, Ethan Driscoll, C.J. Hansen, the newly minted Creed Humphrey, got paid the big bucks, big time. Wanya Morris, who stepped in a few times last season, Hunter Norzad, Trey Smith, Kingsley Suamataya, the rookie that we just drafted, Juwan Taylor, and Joe Toney. So it seems like our main offensive line is going to be obviously Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Joe Toney, Juwan Taylor. It was a battle between Wanya Morris and Kingsley for the left tackle spot, and from everything that I'm seeing, it might be the rookie's time to shine in the left tackle spot for Kingsley. So it'd be interesting to see how he goes here too. Wanya Morris, as I mentioned, he's stepped in a few times when needed last year and did pretty well, but Kingsley by all means won the starting job with how he played. So kudos to him on that. Alrighty. And then we go to the defensive side of the ball here too. We got Felix Anudike Uzama, Mike Dana, who had a very underrated season last year, probably his best year ever. Malik Herring, Chris Jones, obviously, George Karlaftis, Derek Nottie, Mike Pinnell, Tershawn Wharton, and I wanted Joey Bosa, but I got Joey Bosa from Wish.com. Cameron Thomas, who was signed in the dead of night by Brett Veach the other night, defensive tackle from the Arizona Cardinals. 2022 had 3 sacks. 2023 had no sacks, but had a scoop and score for a touchdown. So he finds a way to make his name known somehow at one point. So it'll be interesting to see how effective he is, considering Charles Omenihu is looking to be out of the lineup until probably middle of the season. So this will probably be his replacement for the time being. But pretty much all familiar faces except for Thomas. As far as the defensive line here too, so it's people that Spags trusts, and they had a hell of a season last year. See if they keep it going. Go up to linebacker now. Got Nick Bolton, Leo Chanel, Jack Cochran, Drew Tranquil, and the rookie Cam Jones. The noticeable difference here, instead of Willie Gay Jr., who I would have loved if we could have kept him one more year, we got Cam Jones stepping up now for him too. He had a pretty decent preseason here, but pretty much all familiar faces in the linebacking core for the most part.
Yep.
Alrighty, and then we go to defensive backs, and obviously the biggest loss on that one was L'Jarius Sneed, who had an interesting comment that he made, saying how bad he really wanted to stay in KC, and which I asked myself, did he really want to stay that bad if he knew he was going to get a lot more money elsewhere? I kind of feel like that's the same lip service as a certain DeAndre Hopkins saying he wants to win a ring somewhere, but then ends up signing with the Titans instead.
Yeah.
So, but hey, I still love Sneed. I still wish him the very best there in Tennessee. He got his rings. It was time for him to get paid, and I'm glad Tennessee, ponied up and paid him the big bucks there too. So he won't have to want for anything for the rest of his life for sure. So good on him. He definitely earned it. Going through the rest of the defensive backs here, Chamari Connor, fantastic rookie year last year. Brian Cook, safety, unfortunately was lost halfway through the year. Hopefully he bounces back from injury. Yet another name that had a fantastic preseason, Jaden Hicks. who most likely not will be the Mike Edwards replacement. Mike Edwards we signed from Tampa Bay last year, veteran piece. He'll be up on the opposite side of Justin Reed. Obviously, defensive back number 1, that job is obviously going to go to Trent McDuffie, and I'd have to say it's going to be a battle between Joshua Williams and Jalen Watson. All of these defensive backs, especially Williams, Watson, Reed, McDuffie, and Connor, fantastic year last year. I mean, they were the main reason one of the main reasons the defense held plenty of teams under a certain amount of points last year. So their services will definitely be wanted again, especially without the number 1 guy in L'Jarius Sneed. So, and real quick, just finishing off, we got the 3 specialists here. Obviously, Tommy Townsend signing with the Houston Texans. Miss him, but love that he got paid somewhere. Harrison Butker just became the highest paid kicker in the league. James Winchester, who was battling some shoulder injuries there too, but looks like he will be a go for week 1. And the punt god, Matt Ariza, who definitely shined in the preseason here too. Hopefully we don't need him a whole lot, but when we do, he's got the boot, that's for sure.
Yeah, I hope you guys do need him a lot. I hope he's a difference maker for you this year.
He very well may be. Hey, it was a punt that was a difference maker in the Super Bowl this year.
It's true.
All right. Well, won't stay on this too long, but it was kind of funny some of the releases that were listed by Kansas City too. One being the hero of Super Bowl 57, Kadarius Toney. That punt return and the corn dog play leading into the touchdown. Kadarius Toney, I have had good things to say about you, and I've also had really, really bad things to say about you. I wish you well in your future endeavors, but your future endeavors will not be with the Kansas City Chiefs, especially after the performance of last season. So, Kadarius Toney gone.
I'm gonna miss him.
Gonna miss him, exactly. A couple other names too. Safety Deion Bush was kind of a surprise to me because he had the interception in the back of the end zone against the Baltimore Ravens that. It didn't quite seal the game, but still, it changed the field back over to Kansas City, where all they had to do was get a couple first downs to end the game. So, Deion Bush, came in with one of the funniest tweets ever when he first started with Kansas City. He got signed literally the same day as the Tyreek Hill trade, and I'll never forget it too. It was so funny. He said, "What's good, Chiefs Kingdom? Ready to show up and ball out for KC." And meanwhile, all of Twitter on Kansas City was losing their minds, and he responded with, "All right, I'm gonna check back with y'all later. I see you're busy." So I'll always remember him just for that too. It's like he has a great sense of humor too, and he made a lot of key plays in his 2 years here with Kansas City. So Deion Bush, hats off to you. Thanks for everything you've done. But those were definitely the 2 names I wanted to bring up just for the story on that. Honestly, it was so funny at the time. And but yeah, the 53-man roster is fully set. I'm excited to kick it off next Thursday.
Oh yeah, no, it's I'm excited as well. But let's get over to the Steelers 53-man roster, and like everything the Steelers do, it's never really flashy. Everyone that was expected to make the roster made the roster. We alluded to Russell Wilson being the quarterback number 1, Justin Fields, and your favorite Kyle Allen.
QB1, Kyle Allen.
We got our running back room, and I'm really excited for this area of our offense. Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, and Cordell Patterson. It could be a little 3-headed monster there. Very good kick returner. He does know how to get open. He's a big dude. And so it could be a great year for that. Tight end, kind of the same thing that we've had here for a little while there. Pat Freiermuth will be the first. Darnell Washington, more of that extra lineman kind of guy. And Connor Hayward can make some plays. Wide receiver room. It's our wide receiver room.
Hey,
George
got a
Pickens and Calvin
got
Austin.
a freshly minted Kadarius Toney to come out. It can't be any worse than Deontay Johnson.
Oh, it can be. At least Deontay Johnson knew how to run routes and knew how to line up. But it'll be interesting because we got George Pickens now as true number one. He's going to have that target on him coming into it. He does have that little bit of attitude for him, so let's see. Hopefully it's not like the Juju Smith-Schuster situation where he shined really good as a number 2 and then couldn't get up to a number 1. But then again, last year, Deontay Johnson was injured for a lot of the season, and he did carry the load. So we got Van Jefferson, which he's made some plays for us in preseason. He was acquisition. Nothing flashy there.
Who did he play for last year?
I can't remember.
I was going to say, I swear I've seen his name, but I couldn't remember where.
I thought he was the Rams.
That sounds right, but I couldn't remember either, honestly.
I'll look it up later, but Calvin Austin, I've always been really high on him. He's super fast, good slot receiver. Roman Wilson is our rookie. We drafted him this year. I think he's going to do very well. All of our rookies made the roster, so we'll see where they go. And then Scotty Miller, which I guess, I don't know. No big names, but then again, Antonio Brown wasn't a big name until he was a big name.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Offensive tackle, the only thing that really hurts here is that we got Nate Herbig, our center/guard. He is out. He's injured reserve. Don't have a timetable on him yet. But the guys that were expected to make it made it there. Flipping over to the defense.
Well, real quick, actually, you mentioned injury timetable too. Has there been any word on Jaylen Warren yet? I still haven't heard anything on that.
I think he's set to be coming in. They do not have him listed as injured reserve or reserve backup. So
good, okay.
So I think he's going to be good to go here soon. They'll probably ease him in. It'll probably be Najee Harris, Cordell Patterson for a little while and put him in.
Yeah.
Let's see. Flipping over to the defensive side of the ball. Of course, we got our anchors there. Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Our emerging star, Joey Porter Jr. The guy that I like that we stole from the Ravens, Patrick Queen, is coming in. Rookie that to look out for is going to be Peyton Wilson. I think he's going to be a name that fits the Steelers' mold. Nate Herbig. He was a rookie last year. He was starting to make his presence known, and then he got a terrible knee injury. He is back. He looked good in the preseason. Got a huge sack last week. So he's going to be one to look out for. Of course, Alex Highsmith, he got paid last year. He's really good on the opposite side of TJ Watt. So I think outside linebacker, that is our strongest position here.
Absolutely.
Safety, Minkah Fitzpatrick, he is dangerous there too. The only thing is going to be our cornerbacks. We got a guy returning. He was injured last year, Corey Trice Jr. He is going to be probably a difference maker there. Hopefully the moment's not too big, but every time in practice he looks amazing. So hopefully he can stay healthy this year, no injuries, and then our trade from Dante Johnson, we got Dante Jackson. And so specialists, nothing really different there except we have a new punter, Cameron Johnston, which hopefully he does better than our guy last year. But Chris Boswell, solid on our team. Now, if you scroll down a little farther there, we got our injured reserve. Like I said, Nate Herbig, injured there. I don't know his timetable. David Perales, I don't really know him. Ryan Watts, he's our rookie. So he technically made the team, just injured reserve. Julius Welshoff, I don't know him. Moon is another one designated to return. He's a rookie. I think he's a rookie. I'm pretty sure he's a rookie. And then Dalen Cook. Yeah, we'll see what we can do. But I'm pretty excited. Now cuts, we didn't really have a lot of big names to cut. Quez Watkins, we brought him in free agency.
No true surprises or anything like that.
That's
No names that are like, man, I was really rooting for him to make the team and all that. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, we brought in a wide receiver, Quez Watkins from Philadelphia. He didn't make the team.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know. Running back, Jonathan Ward, Lamika Pirine. He didn't make the team. Wide receiver, Des Fitzpatrick. He made some plays, some catches, but he didn't make it. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Absolutely.
What goes on there?
There we go.
Now, one point that I forgot to bring up: your center got paid. I really like what happens when your offensive linemen get paid. Don't they kind of disappear?
No, not really, because Joe Toney got paid, and he's done pretty well for us. So,
all right.
And Jawan Taylor, I mean, yes, he was the most penalized guy, but he showed up big in the playoffs, and that's all we could ask for. So,
there you go. He's going to be really solid on that 6-11 season here.
Oh, good heavens. Well. Speaking of that, next week before we preview our games, we will be doing a wins and losses prediction. This is pretty much been a tradition ever since we've started this podcast. Basically, we go through week by week of each our schedules, and we guess what games our respective teams or their respective teams will win, and which ones they will lose. And there's quite a bit at stake this year, as those of you who've caught our last week's podcast with the stakes that were listed out. So, it's going to be a fun time. It's always fun to see which games we agree on, which games we disagree on, and I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of games we're going to be disagreeing on this year. Alrighty, well, before we wrap this up here too, Trajan, why don't you break down really quick what you got Sunday, week 1. Who's your matchup?
Atlanta Falcons.
There we go.
Kirk Cousins, Atlanta Falcons.
Arthur Smithless, Atlanta Falcons.
I hope he wants revenge.
Maybe they want revenge.
That may be. That could be.
What time is that game? That's not Sunday night, is it?
That is a noon game.
Noon game. Okay, gotcha. I couldn't remember what the primetime game was on Sunday. Because my game will be well over by that point, so it doesn't matter to me.
Thursday.
But, Thursday Night Football, the home opener. We get to see the brand new 4-time Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs banner. We get to see the giant Lombardi on the field. We get to see the actual Lombardi in the hands of our owner, Clark Hunt. And one last hurrah before we go from back-to-back to the three-peat. No one has ever done it before in the Super Bowl era of the National Football League. And if there's any team that can do it, it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Andy Reid, it's the Kansas City Chiefs, baby. And it all starts Thursday night against the Baltimore Ravens, the team that we took down in the AFC Championship game before we went on to Vegas. And we took down the San Francisco 49ers on the Raiders' home field in front of John Elway, who was the one that had to bring us the Lombardi Trophy afterwards. I'm really picking a lot of enemies here by all these teams that I'm listing here, but I don't care, because if you're going to make enemies, you might as well be the greatest of all time. And that's what it's all about for Kansas City. So get ready, because I'm finishing up this promo right here. I'm so ready. It's going to be a party at my house. It's going to be a party at Arrowhead, and it's going to be a party all season long, because let me tell you something, brother. What you going to do when Andy Reid, when Patrick Mahomes, when my boy Travis Kelce runs wild on you, dude?
Oh, all I have to say is enjoy your equivalent to the 90s Cowboys era.
Oh, man. Is this what all we're going to have to live for the next 25 years and all that, too?
Oh, God, I hope so.
Well, thanks for the memories, I guess. So, but thank you for the memories that you all bring to us whenever you watch our show. We appreciate every single one of you. Leave a comment down below. Are you excited for your matchup? Are you excited for football? We want to hear from you. Make your voices heard down below. We'd love to hear from you too. But thank you, everybody, so much for joining us this week. We'll be back next week for the preview of our Week 1 matchups, as well as the predictions for the Season 2. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you enjoyed it. Tell all your friends. And we will see you all next week.